Hey guys, welcome to our Week 15 Premier League rundown with JJ, Jamie James. JJ is a winner and Nigel Seeley, Seeley_Nigel. If you guys want to go and check them out on Twitter. Guys, thanks for being here.
Yeah, very excited to be here. Did Nigel get his email in on time?
He did. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because
before you actually this time.
Yeah, because you underlined it last week and you also put it in the capitals to emphasise the point, because that's like shouting. You were shouting it in, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
Poor old Nigel.
And I mentioned it on camera too, because
And
I
on the
thought, and now
camera.
it's like on record, so
Yeah. But
it worked though.
He got it all together though, hasn't he?
More or less.
There you go, Nigel. Poor old Nigel. Welcome, Nigel. You're very professional today.
No, I thought you'd been a little bit of a graft there, JJ, a bit of a sneak. There.
No, just a teacher's pet, my friend. No problem. Okay, I got it all highlighted. Very, very professional. And more importantly, I've got another winning week. I had another winning week last week, didn't I?
Well, that's what I wanted to get at. Well, first of
Yeah.
all, we all had a good week. We are all
I had the
in
best
profit.
week though, right?
I had a pretty good week too, but you had some crackers there. You
Yeah.
picked up some underdogs that you go for, but I have to say that Everton bet that I warned you against, it didn't come through.
I know, Everton's a bit letting me down this year, aren't they, on the old betting?
It does. But do you want to see our record? What do you want to
Yeah.
know? Do you want to know profit or return on investment?
Well, I think I'm still bottom, aren't I, at the moment?
You are.
Yeah.
I've got 7.3 units of profit. Coming in second is Nigel with 5.7, but just close behind in profit is 4.8 is yourself. You went from something like 1.3 to 4.8. That was how good your week was.
Well, that's it. And I'm just moving forward very quietly and very humbly and just getting the job done, aren't I?
Nothing quiet nor humble, JJ, about you.
Well, quite a lot.
All right.
Moving on.
Let's start. We've got some cracking matches. Leicester versus Man City is the one we're going to kick off with today.
Yeah.
Learned my lesson. Never backing Leicester again. What are you going to start with?
Well, they're absolutely shocking. They lost me quite a lot of money yesterday as well in their Champions League. What a hiding they took yesterday, Nigel. They're taking that disastrous Premier League form into the Champions League as well. They're a nightmare, aren't they?
Well, they didn't put out a very good side, JJ. I mean, they're already qualified. So
Still, that was a hammering, right?
Yeah, but they didn't need to win it. They didn't need to win. Porto needed to win, and Porto's a very, very tough place to go in European football. They won the European Cup not so long ago as well. So don't really look too much into that. They are shocking in the Premier League, absolutely shocking. Defensively, they're all over the place. The goalkeeper is still injured. Kasper Schmeichel, that's a big blow for them. And Manchester City, they're equally as bad at the back as well. This just screams out goals to me. I just think this is an absolute over 2.5. Both teams to score. I think this is really could be anything. Leicester games at the moment, both teams are scoring in regularity. Man City, every game they play, they're conceding as well. It's all about goals. I wouldn't trust Leicester or wouldn't trust Man City to win the game, but I think goals are definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. My bet's here, official bet for this match. Both teams to score 1.7. Although I do like the Man City win, to be honest with you, at 1.73. I called the Chelsea, went for the Chelsea in the draw last week. You called the Sunderland, didn't you?
I did indeed. And I saw here, and I sent it to you this morning, 1.72. But with our friends at Pinnacles, 1.73 on a Manchester City win. I just have to play it. It's a little bit below my 1.90, but still not a bad price. And you gotta believe that Man City are going to put 2 or 3 past them. Am I right, Nige?
Well, yeah, they've got to bounce back. I mean, Guardiola's going to get a performance from them. They were awful, weren't they, against the way they laid down against Chelsea. I think my only concern for here is just defensively, they're shocking. Yeah. I mean, Guardiola, I'm not convinced by him. I mean, I know he's had a brilliant record in Bayern Munich and he's brilliant at Barcelona, but a £45 million signing of John Stones and the goalkeeper, Bravo, I mean, he's absolutely diabolical. And I just think there's goals. So for me, I'm going to go for both teams to score with Nat 1.7.
Nice. And tell you, though, must win for Man City. They're 4 points behind first place Chelsea. They've got to step it up a notch.
They have.
All
and
right.
It starts this weekend with a Manchester City win.
All right, then.
Getting the ball rolling.
Well, I'm not putting money on Leicester, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Arsenal versus Stoke now. Arsenal in second place, Stoke down in ninth. Arsenal 1.35, Stoke 9.71, draw 5.58. All odds with Pinnacle. We are powered by Pinnacle. What a win, Arsenal, eh? 5-1 at West Ham.
Yeah.
At West Ham, amazing win against Stoke, though, 2-0 at Burnley. Or 2-0 to Burnley, sorry. I'm liking goals in this match, I have to say, Nigel. Over 3 goals is my bet, 1.78. I think the Gunners can score those by themselves. What are you going for, JJ?
Well, I did watch that Arsenal-West Ham game, which Nigel would have loved because he loves both teams. And West Ham did all right, Nigel, didn't they? Until really about the start of the second half, wasn't it?
Well, they just went to pieces. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a fantastic performance from Alexis Sanchez. He was absolutely unplayable. Everyone goes on about that performance from West Ham, but I thought, so for Arsenal, I thought they were brilliant in their Champions League game against Bâle as well. They've won the group now, which is the first time they've done that for a long, long time, and confidence is absolutely flying high. This was a game that I would have looked at last season and the season before and backed Arsenal to win to 0. But they concede a lot of goals now, Arsenal. I mean, even against West Ham, they conceded. Against Bâle, they conceded. And they concede goals. So I can see where Natalie's coming from here. But I think this is a difficult one because I think Stoke will go there to really frustrate the Gunners. I think it may be a draw at half-time and Arsenal might show their class and win it in the second half. But I'm not having a bet. It's not one for me this weekend. That's not a game. One of the only games I'm not going to have a bet on. I'm avoiding it.
Yeah, I was also looking at Arsenal -1, 1.53 for an Aka bet. I thought that might be kind of cool. But what are you going for?
Well, I mean, I'm very, very impressed with Arsenal. I saw them in Europe the other day. I backed them the other day, and they made me a ton of money. But these teams like Stoke, like Nigel said, they will go there. They will try and suffocate them. They don't like playing against teams like Stoke. And I'm going to take Stoke plus 1.5 goals, and I'll get a 1.85. I think Arsenal will win it. I think they might, but it's going to be tight. And they'll do it by 1 goal, which means I will profit and win.
Yeah, I have to say you're getting quite technical with your bets as I was printing out and highlighting your form.
Well, we're getting...
I was like, somebody's been learning from myself.
Not been learning. I'm just giving the people at home, we're doing it all for free as well, giving them the VIP package, as it were. And that's why you're going to see this record flying up. And that's why the last 3 weeks I've been profitable every single week, haven't I?
Well, the week before, maybe not.
No, 3 weeks I've been making money on all my plays.
Yeah, all right. Watford versus Everton. Question is, has JJ learnt his lesson? Is he going to back the losing side?
Well, I'm taking Everton 2.37. Not putting the farm on it, but I do believe that Everton have enough quality. What did you reckon about them against United, Nigel? Do you reckon they had a chance there?
I thought it was a poor United performance, JJ. I think
Yeah.
United have just been drawing too many games. They're playing a game now in the Europa League. They're going through the motions. It's a very, very average Man United side. They haven't got any goals in the Man United. We'll come on to that a bit later. But I thought Everton, I thought it was more Man United letting them off the hook rather than Everton playing well. The one thing I expect in this game is goals. I think Watford at home are scoring goals for fun. They were involved in a 6-1 match with Liverpool, 3-1 last week. They got beat by West Brom. Lots and lots of goals in Watford games this season. And the same with Everton. Both teams are scoring pretty well every week with regularity. I think last week we saw some unbelievable high-scoring goals in the Premier League. And I think that trend will continue this week. I fancy both teams to score in this one.
Right. Yeah. Well, they say even a broken clock is right twice.
That's right.
So do you think maybe at one point that Everton bet will come in?
Well, they've been letting me down, haven't they? They've been really upsetting my figures.
Completely.
But, I just think from a betting perspective, they are, I believe, a better team than Watford. It's not going to be easy. And I think 2.37 is tremendous value. And I've got to back my Blue Boys.
Well, I'm going for Watford and the draw, double chance. I'm staying
What price
well
you getting on that now?
1.6.
1.60. Not a lot of value, is there, there?
No, but I've got the highest profit, so it's obviously working, isn't it?
Well, it is at the moment. We've got the busy Christmas period coming up, and I'm slowly getting to the top of the leaderboard, and you guys are on a slippery slope down.
All right, just be careful because that Everton bet of JJ's is straight from the heart, and we all know how that's
right.
turned
That
out.
is rewarding. You are right, Nat.
Yeah. Burnley versus Bournemouth now. Burnley,
what a beauty.
3.65. Bournemouth 2.17 and the draw 3.48. All those odds with Pinnacle. Go on.
I just threw away my prediction.
No, that was the tide. There's your prediction here. That one. Burnley.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's how much I'm paying to this game. Not really much to sell on this game other than I will take Burnley plus a half a goal. I'm actually getting over 1.9. I'm getting 2.02. Not a lot to say about that game, Nigel. What do you reckon of that bet?
I like it, JJ. I know Bournemouth did really well against Liverpool in that freaky game last week, winning 4-3.
That was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Burnley at home compared to Burnley away from home are a very, very entirely different side. Their home record is phenomenal. They've beaten some good sides. They've beaten Liverpool. They beat your team, Everton. They almost beat Arsenal. They've done it really, really well. And I think Bournemouth at 2.14 is very, or 1.7 is very, very, very short, just regardless how well they did. I think 365 here is a massive, massive, massive price on Burnley. I really do.
Yeah.
Away from, they're terrible, they don't score. But when they get that Turf Moor, the place gets rocking. It's going to be freezing cold up there, absolutely freezing cold. Bournemouth, two massive contrasting footballing styles. Bournemouth play a nice, expansive game. Burnley, straight in your face, hard, tough. I think 365 is a huge price on Burnley.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think I'm going to change my bet, actually. I'm just looking at...
Have you let the production team know?
I'm going to have to.
All right. Okay,
Stop filming. I'm going to go tell them. No, do you know what? No, you're right. Burnley at home. I sort of forgot about their sort of home form. 4 wins. Really struggle on the road. Yeah, I definitely think they can get something out of it. I like your bet.
Yeah, I mean, I just think
I
I do
I'm
love
gonna
it,
steal
Nige. I know I like fortune favours a brave. It's a tremendous price. I'm there, but still at 2.02, getting half a goal, I think is a great bet.
Yeah. There you go. I agree.
Okay, good.
Hull versus Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Hull 3.53. Crystal Palace 2.27. The draw 3.38. Crystal Palace, they're on a bit of a form. Yes, well done for calling that.
I did call
well
it.
Done.
Nigel said our man Pardew was in trouble. He was going to get the tic-tac. He was going to get sacked. He didn't. The team responded. Like I said, Nigel, what do you reckon?
Well, for now, he's still under pressure.
Mr. Negative.
This is still a big game for him, though. I mean, let's not say Hull are by far the worst team in the Premier League.
Yeah.
By far. Absolute. They're going to finish bottom of the Premier League by absolute far. I'm looking. I've actually tipped up Crystal Palace, but it's really slightly a lean rather than a high conviction bet. I think they probably will win. I think their momentum will be really high after that win last week. 3-0 was a good result against Southampton. We're a decent side. Never usually concede many goals, Southampton. So it's a good result. But it wouldn't surprise me if this was 0-0. It really wouldn't surprise me if this was a draw. But it's a slight lean towards Crystal Palace at 2.2. Nothing really high conviction on the bet.
Yeah, well, if you did want to play Crystal Palace draw no bet, that's 1.61. But I'm actually going to go for Crystal Palace in this match, 2.27 with our friends at Pinnacle. Go on.
We got the full house.
Yeah.
I'm on it as well. I'm on the Palace win. I'm turning you guys around to the right side, and absolutely 2.27 all day long, and we're all on it. Very unusual in that for us all to be on the exact same side.
And what was your friend on Twitter telling you? Do you remember?
I get quite a lot of stick on Twitter.
They said like when we all go for the same one. Then
it's golden.
Yeah, it's golden.
Yeah, and I'm also into yoga now as well. And I was doing the yoga this morning, doing my meditation, and the gambling gods came to me and he said, JJ, Palace, Palace, Palace. I love it. It's the play of the weekend.
What position were you in? The little,
I was doing, the gambling gods came to me. I'm off the treadmill because your treadmill's a bit too aggressive and it was getting bad for the knees and it's not getting rid of the gut. So I'm now on the yoga.
Are you?
Yeah.
I have to say you're looking very good.
Thank you very much, Natalie. I'll be going red in a minute and it won't be my blood pressure.
Swansea versus Sunderland now. Swansea 2.13, Sunderland 3.72, and the draw 3.52. Swansea lost 5-0 at Tottenham. How will they bounce back from that? Nigel, what are your predictions?
I don't think they've all bounced back.
Yeah.
We said about Hull being the worst team in the Premier League. I think Swansea are not far behind them.
Yeah.
We said about the American Bob Bradley. He's been backed off the boards in the last 24 hours to lose his job. There was rumours on Twitter this morning that he was going to be sacked. I think that Sunderland have suddenly turned it around under David Moyes, started getting results. I always thought they would do because they do this every season. They always have a bad start and then
but you said without Moyes, I remember.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd be there. I thought Sam Allardyce would be back. I really did. I thought got to Christmas, I thought they'd take Sam Allardyce back and they'd be okay. But they're a good side, Sunderland. I mean, they've got a good support there. They've got a good stadium. They're always there or thereabouts, but they always manage to get out of it. And I think they'll go to Swansea and I think they'll do a job here. I can't believe that Swansea are so short. I mean, their form is shocking. They're not winning any games. They're not scoring any goals. The confidence must be at an all-time low. The managers seem to have lost a lot of the dressing room. And I think Sunderland are now getting better and better and better each week, winning games, scoring goals. And in Jermaine Defoe, they've got a player who's banging form as well. I think Sunderland win this.
But he changes his tune, doesn't he? He's like back 10 different teams to win.
Keeps us on our toes.
10 different teams to win the Premier
right?
League, and now he's saying Sunderland's good. And the other week he was saying they were garbage.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
who believed in Sunderland? I did. I believe that. I do agree with you, Nigel. Jokes aside, Swansea are absolutely shocking. I mean, they're dreadful. They're absolutely.
What they've done, JJ, they've done a very similar thing to what Charlton did many years ago. They had a very settled manager in Alan Kirbysley.
Yeah.
They've had good coaches come through, Martinez. They've had Gary Monk, who was a good manager, and they've suddenly just thought the grass is greener and made changes. And now they could be a side, if they don't get their house in order, they could fall again from the Championship next season. They could be on a rocky spot. It's very similar to Charlton.
Yeah.
Just good managers. They haven't looked after them, and they just don't know what they want. They're all over the place.
I don't like Charlton very much, Nat.
Yeah.
I got my head kicked in one day at Charlton.
Yeah. Imagine there's a few places
I've had my head kicked in a few times. I got a right hide in it.
What's that?
I don't know. We'll talk about that another time.
Where did you get that
But
one?
yeah, when I've been to Charlton. You're right. It's the same kind of thing. But I mean, Sunderland going to get the job done. I'm going to take them plus half a goal, and I'm getting 2.075. I mean, it's a tremendous price. I mean, they should win the game, but with the half goal there insurance, I think it's spectacular now. I love it.
I'm going to go for both teams to score 1.74. I think both have got leaky defences. I'm expecting a goal from either side. Nigel, what do you think about that bet?
Yeah, I do like that. I mean, that's Sunderland just scoring goals now with Defoe. Swansea just can't keep a clean sheet.
Yeah.
It's not my bet. I just think the price is wrong again. It's very similar to the Bournemouth price. I think that Swansea are far too short for it. And getting with Sunderland, whichever way you want, JJ or my way, which you suggest, I think Sunderland are the value playing this by some distance.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Southampton versus Middlesbrough. Must win for Southampton. Took a beating, obviously, to Crystal Palace. Southampton 1.65, Middlesbrough 6.79, draw 3.73. Nigel, going to start with you.
Yeah, this one I just can't see many goals. I really don't. I think Southampton are very, very tight defensively. They very rarely score more than 2 goals. They tend to win games 1-0 at home. Last week was a big shock for them losing to Crystal Palace. Wasn't if you followed JJ in, but for me it was a big shock. And I just don't think Middlesbrough. For me, they're a side that don't really offer much of an attacking threat away from home. There are a lot of under 2.5 goal games away from home, and I can see this being 1 goal winning it. I was tempted to go for under 1.5 goals, but I think under 2.5 goals at 1.66 may look a little bit too short, but I think it's a bet.
Yeah, I have to say I'm going to take the Southampton win. I know they lost to Crystal Palace, but I think at home, I think they're a different... it's a must-win. I think 1.65 for me is just enough value against a team, Middlesbrough, who are struggling and on the road.
I think it'd be a very close game. I agree with everything you guys are saying, and that's why I'm taking Middlesbrough +1 at 2.05.
Liking the Asian handicap, aren't you?
Loving the Asian handicap. We should do another show on Asian handicap because most of the punters at home don't know how the Asian handicap works.
Really?
What do you reckon, Nige?
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I mean, on my days back in Bet Victor, doing the Asian handicaps for the big syndicates there, love the markets.
Yeah.
Great move. And there's some teams that you just look at trends that they never usually win by more than 1.5 goals. And there's differences in the fixed odds prices to the handicap, which we can capitalise on. So up for that.
Definitely some sneaky value. And also, most people seem to have moved away from the European handicap and moved to the Asian handicap.
Well, 85% of my soccer bets, and I'm playing soccer bets all over the world every day, I would say on Asian handicaps.
Yeah. Okay. Manchester United versus Tottenham. What a fixture. Very interesting. Be looking forward to this match. Manchester United 2.23, Tottenham 3.63, and the draw 3.37. Not quite sure whether Man United should be favourites, even though they are at Old Trafford. Nigel, over to you.
I think you're going to make them favourites at Old Trafford. I mean, I know this is, they're not playing that well, but this year they are Manchester United, and that stadium is a huge. Whatever team go there, they know they're in for a test. The trouble is they're not getting the rub of the green. They're playing okay, but they're not really getting the rub of the green. They're going through a game now at the moment. I was watching the Europa League before we spoke here, and it was awful, absolutely awful. They got a first team side out there. Rooney's playing, Ibrahimovic is playing, Mkhitaryan's playing. But they just don't look like they've got goals in them this side. And Tottenham, the best defensive record in the Premier League, don't concede hardly any goals at all. I know they're coming on the back of a 5-0 win, but I think this is going to be a very, very, very close game. Under 2.5 goals for me. I wouldn't be surprised to see this being 0-0. I really wouldn't. I think this will be really, really tight.
Yeah. Do you know what, though, as well? What's really interesting and quite unique is that Manchester United's home record, 2 wins, 4 draws, 1 loss, 10 goals scored, 6 goals conceded, is exactly the same as Tottenham's away record. Does this say draw?
What?
Is this so?
You've been doing your homework then, haven't you?
I like to do my
very
homework.
professional.
But I'm just wondering whether this says draw or definitely take a draw no bet or a double chance or something like that, if you were to play the outrights.
Well, this one's a difficult one. I'm tentatively giving a prediction on this game because United are playing right now. It's freezing cold there, apparently, where they're playing as well. And I don't know how they're going to be performing there. United are not doing very well. But, I mean, United, they haven't had the rub of the green. They haven't at all. They've had a few decisions go against them. They've been very, very unlucky. And if they're going to turn it around, they're going to have to do it very, very soon. I think if they beat this Tottenham team, which is a very, very good side, of course, will be the springboard to get something going. I think they do get it going, and I'm taking United -1 goal, and I'm getting a whopping 3.20. I reckon they'll win this game by 2 goals.
Well, of course, you're getting a whopping something because that's the chances of that.
I'll
bet
be
actually
doing the
coming in.
victory dance next week because United, this bet will win. They're going to win this game by 2 goals.
Nigel, if I gave you $10, would you put it on that bet of JJ's?
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. They just won 2-0 Manchester United, but it was a very, very typical what they've done this season. Go through the motions. Just play the unders. This could be 0-0. I like your stats on the draw, Natalie. Wouldn't be surprised. I think both managers would take a draw now. And if you back Manchester United games in the last few weeks to be a draw, you would have made a lot of money. So I think this is going to be very, very tight.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I'm going for both teams to score 1.87. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
The trend is not your friend. Moving on.
Why is that a trend?
I don't know about the trend with the draws and things like that. It's like investing. You don't buy when it's high, et cetera, et cetera. You've got to go against the trend. It's going to be goals, goals, goals. United win this by 2 goals. I'll be doing the victory dance.
Okay. Remember, lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice.
Well, okay.
Just because you got some random underdogs last week doesn't mean you're doing it this week.
3 weeks in a row I've been winning.
Okay. Chelsea versus West Brom, top of the league. Chelsea 1.26, West Brom 14.3, the draw 6.25. I'm confident of a Chelsea win here, but I think West Brom could prove some problems to Chelsea a little bit. It's not going to make it an easy win.
I absolutely love this bet. West Brom plus 2 goals, 1.85. That means they've got to win by 3, and I don't think they can do that, Nigel. What do you reckon?
Well, I mean, I don't think they can. I think West Brom are a very, very underrated team in the Premier League at the moment. I spoke to a guy in a leading bookmaker this afternoon, and he said last week West Brom were the most popular back team against Watford, and they won 3-1. And I think people are actually thinking that they're valuing West Brom. They're not as bad as they're being priced up. I think they're being priced up as a side at the bottom 6, bottom 7, like they were last couple of seasons. But they're a team that could actually finish in the top 8 the way they're playing. They're really playing well. Scoring goals, which is unheard of at West Brom. Tony Pulis is a manager who's renowned for being defensively solid and not so attack-minded. But they've got goals in this side now. Rondon is a centre-forward up front. I've been very, very impressed with him. He looks as though he could go to a bigger club. He's good enough. And Chelsea... I know they've been so good defensively, but I think this could be this is going to be not as easy as you think. 1.26 Chelsea is not a price that I would certainly be taking. I'm not saying West Brom could win it, but I'm going to go for both teams to score here, which is bigger than even money. I think it's 2.26. I love that bet. I do like your bet there, the 2 goals, but I don't think this is going to be one-sided as many people predict.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to go for the over 2.5 goals. I think Chelsea can cover that by themselves, but absolutely will not be surprised of that West Brom win. Neither was I surprised with the West Brom win against Watford because I played that bet.
You did indeed. Congratulations. And you'd have to go in the corner and have a quiet word of yourself. If you're back in Chelsea at 1.26, you really shouldn't be gambling if you're doing that.
Yeah, but you put it like an accumulator bet.
You shouldn't be doing accumulators either if you're serious about making money. You'd never catch me doing an accumulator.
No, I like them for fun. You put like $10 and you stick a few teams on. I think it's like a fun thing to do.
Well, you might as well just spend the $10 on a roulette machine or something. Rubbish.
Okay, Liverpool versus West Ham. Last match we're going to preview. Liverpool 1.31, West Ham 10.52, the draw 6.14. I think Liverpool was my surefire bet last week. Oh, we all know how that one turned out.
4-3.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, 4-3 to Bournemouth. That's how it did turn out.
They went to Barcelona. He sent them to Barcelona the other day, Klopp. He said, have a look at a proper football team who won't give up a 3-1 lead. Did you see that, Nigel?
Yeah, I did. I mean, that game was incredible, wasn't it? I mean, like how on earth? But that's why I never thought. My worries about them winning the title because they're so defensively all over the place. The goalkeeper had an absolute shocker. I mean, absolute shocker, and that's why Chelsea have got the big advantage over them at the moment with the defensive strength of the two sides. This game here again just cries out goals to me. I mean, West Ham, the way they capitulated against Arsenal in the second half, I can see exactly the same thing happening against Liverpool. I can see them starting off all right. I can see them putting pressure and probably scoring a goal. In Payet, you've always got a chance of a free kick, something special. He was the reason why they scored against Arsenal on the free kick he took that Andy Carroll followed in. Carroll is back against his former club. He will want to impress here. And they've got goals in them, West Ham, but the trouble is, again, they can't defend for their lives. This could be absolutely anything. I think this could be 5-3, 4-4. This could be goals, Glenn. I think overs and over 2.5, both teams to score is definitely the way to profit.
I think Nige just quoted you, JJ.
Yeah, he did.
Goals.
I haven't done a goals for a while, have I? But I tell you what, Arsenal were just so good the other day, rather than West Ham being awful. And again, you get such great value. I mean, Liverpool, the price you get for Liverpool is shocking. The amount of public money that's flying on Liverpool is just unbelievable. And I'm taking West Ham +2, and I'm getting 1.95.
Did you see what price they went off last week, JJ? They opened up when we done the preview. I think they were 183. Liverpool, I think they went off at 166.
I know, mate. I'm telling you, this would be about. I'll probably get 2.05 as a minimum on this as well, and +2 goals. I mean, they got to beat them by 3.
This is a great point that we're making about the Asian handicaps, because when you back the underdog whenever they're playing Liverpool, you know that Liverpool are always going to concede goals. So they've got to score 3 or 4 to win. Yeah. When you back the underdog playing Chelsea, you know that Chelsea are 9 times out of 10 going to keep a clean sheet. So with Liverpool on the Asian handicap, the value is huge with the 2 goals, because you know that Liverpool already this season going to concede 2, 1, maybe even 3, 4 like the other week. So that means they've got to score 6 goals to win in some of these games.
Yeah, but don't forget that they've only scored 4 at home as opposed to 14 on the road. That's a difference of 10.
Well, I'll tell you
they're at home.
They're not going to win no Premier League if they start giving away 3-1 leads. It's not going to happen. And I just absolutely love it. I've been making money all year long, haven't I, on the Asian handicaps against Liverpool. And +2 goals, that means they've got to win by 3. I can't see that happening.
All right, I'm going goals, to quote you, JJ, in this match. Over 3 goals, 1.62 is my best bet for this match.
I'll get the death threats on Twitter because they're a bit lunatics, the Liverpool fans. And they obviously put a lot of money on them because you get so much value for it.
But interestingly, though, last week they were bettable. It was like 1.75, so I took it and let me down. So I'm not doing that one again.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That comes to the end of our show here. Stay tuned. More Premier League rundowns coming. I think we've got some weeks here where there's going to be 2 a week, so make sure you catch all of those.
We've got the silly season coming, haven't we? The Christmas and everything. It's all defined at Christmas time, Nigel, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Whoever's top of the table at Christmas
fired up
wins.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. And to you boys, thank you once again.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Nigel.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.